Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is your Vedic astrology coach Rahat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. In my channel I make videos on Vedic astrology, I talk about transits. This is my second attempt in this video because what happened previously was I recorded this video and before even editing it I ended up deleting the video permanently. It was an error, it was a mistake. So without a doubt, this video is about Mercury's retrograde transit in the sign of Cancer. Now it has not even gone retrograde, but I was already facing these kind of issues. So I had to do it again. Maybe I missed out some elements that I need to importantly cover this time. Mercury is going retrograde on 18th of July and it is going to stay in this motion in the sign of Cancer till 11th of August. There are a lot of myths that have been created in the name of Mercury retrograde, that it creates technical difficulties, it creates disruption in communication, it creates all sorts of problems in our life. It becomes the poor scapegoat. I am not here to blame Mercury because when it goes retrograde, it does have some karmic repercussions. It brings in some unfulfilled purpose from the previous birth, and Mercury goes retrograde sometimes 3 times in a year, sometimes 4 times in a year as well. So it is a fast moving planet. What happens is during this time it moves at an unusually slower pace. Its proximity is closer to the earth, therefore it is more powerful. It gains cheshta bal. Now exceptionally during this time Mercury is conjoined Sun. So from 18th of July till 11th of August Mercury is retrograde and it is also combust. So it is a double whammy kind of a situation. Firstly, it's an inimical sign of Cancer. Mercury hates to be in Cancer. He doesn't like the moon. Second, it's retrograde. So which means of course things are working in an opposite manner. Mercury is having a very strong 7th aspect. And third, that it is combust. So it is losing its power and it's in an uncomfortable sign as well. So of course, a lot will take as far as efforts are concerned over the next few weeks. But yes, Sun and Mercury are forming a yoga. It's a Buddha-Aditya yoga in the sign of Cancer. And now let's talk about how the next few weeks of Mercury's retrograde transit in this season, where it is joining its friend Saturn, is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. At the physical level, you must read this transit from the ascendant sign. At the mental level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Aries ascendant signs or the Aries moon sign. So Mercury becomes your 3rd and the 6th lord, the one who rules your valor, courage, change, and also your daily routine, deaths, diseases, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, your health and well-being, competition, enemies, opposition in life. Mercury has already been making a transit in your 4th house in the sign of Cancer, and now it is going to go retrograde or Vakri when it will also be conjoined with Sun. Mercury will face combustion as well. See, 4th house Mercury is already Maran Karaka position because Mercury is a child. 4th house is home. So he doesn't feel at ease in this house. He's a child who wants to step out, who wants to stay out. So it is an uncomfortable position because Mercury does not have any domain knowledge of this house. So when it's in uncomfortable position, now it goes retrograde. So it is a brief, better period. It's a good phase which is there because in astrology, it's mathematics. Negative and negative becomes positive. Mercury will go combust. That is little bit concerning. But Surya for you is a Karaka Graha. It's your 5th lord. So therefore, if you do remedies related to Surya, you will not have communication issues. You will perhaps be more focused and mindful of your own mindfulness, of your own comfort. Mercury momentarily is looking back at your 3rd house. So it wants to put in some quick efforts in terms of whatever you do and be change ready. Mercury is going to have a very strong aspect on the 10th house, which is the sign of Capricorn. Momentarily, Mercury will behave as if it's sitting in the sign of Capricorn, which is a friendly sign. So it could bring in work related changes, progress. Things could be little bit slower than usual, but this is how you will have to manage your pace. So an excellent time to do a decluttering exercise at your home and of course improve your communication, your presence at work. Make your presence felt. You have to focus on your health, well-being, vitality because Mercury is your 6th lord and if it is going retrograde, it could bring some past issues related to your health, related to your well-being. So please take care of it during this time. Look up to Surya and chant mantras related to Surya to gain the most of it. Taurus ascendant signs or the Taurus moon signs. So Mercury is going retrograde on Vakri on 18th of July and it will stay in this motion till 11th of August. For you, Mercury plays a very important role in all financial matters. It's your second lord and the fifth lord. Second lord of Dhan, your family, speech, what you consume, and also the fifth lord of children, your future. Positional success is seen from this house. Mantras are seen from this house. And we also see a sense of corruption because this is the Rajya Bhava. With power comes corruption. Mercury is already making a transit in your third house. Now it will go retrograde. It will also go combust. Third house position for Mercury is a comfortable house because it is the natural ruler of Gemini, which is the natural third house, though it's in an inimical sign. Now, when it goes retrograde, firstly, it is looking back at your second house. So you might need to do some quick fixes related to your finances, related to your family, and also some changes in your diet. These will be very quick, fast changes. You will have to maybe take some decisions related to finance wherein you have little time to take those decisions. Okay. Now, since it rules wealth, it also rules your future. It is in the house of effort. It is conjoined Surya. Both of them are forming a Buddha-Aditya yoga, but Mercury is combust. However, if you remedy Surya and look at learning something in the short run, which is related to your wealth creating opportunities, which is very much linked to what you were to do in future. It is a very good time to learn, look up to someone who's a mentor or get some advice because you will be confused for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So take it easy. You could go on journeys. When you go on journeys, make sure that you take care of all the paperwork, your visa, documents, passport, ticket, and of course, all your belongings, because there could be some issues with such travel. Mercury is having a very strong aspect on the 9th house, the 7th aspect. It will behave as if it's sitting in the sign of Capricorn. Thankfully, fortune is favorable here. So journeys is going to bring some sort of rejuvenation, some sort of reflection, and you must take up long distance journey. You must go for higher education during this time. From a remedial point of view, journal, write down. Mercury is communication, third house represents your hands, and goals that you will set will really go a long way over the course of next few months. Gemini ascendant signs or the Gemini moon signs. So Mercury, your Lagna Lord, is now going to go retrograde on 18th of July and it is going to stay in this motion till 11th of August. So for you, Mercury is the Lord of the Ascendant and also the fourth Lord. It rules yourself, your body, your vitality, your immunity, who you are, your intelligence, your decision making. It also is the fourth Lord of your happy space, your comfort space, home, mother, your homeland, where you feel most protected. Now, whenever Mercury goes retrograde, regardless of your Dasha and Dasha, you will always have some or the other impact of this transit. Now, this retrogression is happening in your second house of Dhan Bhava. Mercury is forming a financial yoga, it is forming a Dhan yoga that is related to yourself. It will come in contact with Surya. So, when Mercury goes retrograde and it also goes combust, it affects your decision making. So, this time period might not be ideal to make some big decisions in your life or some big movements, big changes where your family is involved, where your finances are involved. So, make sure you make your payments on time because you will have the tendency to forget when it comes to financial matters. See, because Mercury is also the significator of memory. So, when it goes retrograde, it does bring in some past memory. Maybe you made a payment and you realize, okay, I haven't. So, there could be certain confusion with regards to financial matters. Mercury is having a very strong aspect on your 8th house, the 7th aspect on the 8th house. So, it supports positive transformation. Your 8th house is under good protection. It will protect you from any suddenness in life. So, this is something which you could watch out for. Mercury will behave as if it's sitting in the sign of Capricorn, which is its friendly sign. Mercury is also looking back at your 3rd house. So, it wants you to put in some quick efforts, but do not make major decisions during this time. It could be a very good time for you to ensure that you think before you speak, because your communication or your speech could create some confusion or could lead to a conflict with other people. So just take care of your temperament. Do not use your emotions. Emotionally driven communication could be detrimental towards relationship with other people. And with food, do not get extravagant or go extravagant. Take it easy, have a balanced diet. Cancer ascendant signs or the Cancer moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Now, Mercury, who's the 3rd and the 12th lord for you, 3rd lord of valor, courage, efforts, your change, younger siblings, your co-born, communication. It is also the house of growth. Mercury also becomes the 12th lord of your higher self-consciousness, losses, expenditure, what you do to become more self-aware, your sleep and bed comforts, also your ability to donate, your ability to give and help others. Now Mercury is already making a transit in your ascendant or lagna, where it gains directional strength, or it is digbali. Therefore, there are blessings of Lord Vishnu, and this is applicable till end of August. You are under blessings, you are under protection. Mercury will also come in contact with Surya, who is the significator of Lagna or the ascendant. So it is a good time for you to make some decisions, in spite of the fact that Mercury is going retrograde, because Mercury is not the most ideal planet for you. So it is going to bring in some sort of protection where Sun holds a greater disposition. Alright. So momentarily what is happening, when it goes retrograde, it also goes combust, so it is losing its power. Look up to Surya and look up to your Lagna Lord Moon from a remedial point of view. Mercury is going to be looking back at your 12th house. It will re-evaluate your expenditure, and you need to rethink and do a budget exercise. From a health point of view, you also need to watch out your lifestyle, because there could be some issues related to skin, related to your speech in terms of what you say, and also there could be some issues or obstruction related to your learning. So if you are in education or probably in academic pursuits, there could be some obstruction momentarily during this time. Mercury is having a very strong aspect on the 7th house, which ensures there is great protection towards your partnership, your spouse or marriage, and of course your businesses as well. Mercury will behave as if it's sitting in the sign of Capricorn. So it has a very strong aspect. It desires some quick wins when it comes to your businesses. If you have been looking for a new relationship, this time period could be favorable for you. Some past relationship might come, again. Some previous friends or acquaintances might reappear, or you might reconnect with some old people. Worship Lord Vishnu from a remedial point of view, and may you have a pleasant transit. Leo ascendant signs or the Leo moon signs. So what is happening? Mercury, who is your 2nd and the 11th lord, who plays a very important role in all financial matters, because it rules your dhan bhava, your family, wealth, accumulation. This is also your storage space. We also see your speech and what you consume, what you eat from this house. Mercury also becomes the 11th lord of your income, financial or material gains, all sorts of comforts in life from a material point of view. It also rules bigger enemies, because this house is 6th from the 6th house. Now Mercury is going to go retrograde and also combust, and that is happening in your 12th house. So Mercury already is in a little bit of a weaker disposition, because the one who rules all kinds of finances, your family, has gone into the house of expenditure or losses. Your Lagna Lord Surya will also join Mercury while it is retrograde and combust. So not the most ideal time for you to make some key decisions in life, financial decisions where your wealth is involved, where your income is involved, where your family is involved. But from a health point of view, this time period does need some attention, because your health is going to improve. From a spiritual point of view, it is quite positive, because it is bringing karmic repercussions, some unfulfilled purpose related to 12th house matters. Do a budget exercise and ensure that you have some spiritual routine first 30 to 45 minutes of the day, yoga, sadhana, meditation, something that you could do. Mercury is going to be looking back at your 11th house momentarily. So it wants to protect your source of income, and you can connect with some old friends. You will connect with old friends, some family members or wider social network, some people who you've lost contact or touch with. They will reappear, and of course you can be in touch with them. Mercury will be aspecting your 6th house by the 7th aspect of desire. It is going to be a very strong drishti during this time. It wants to bring in a sense of consistency in your daily routine, because both Sun and Mercury will be jointly aspecting your 6th house. You will be in a position to overcome enemies, overcome any sort of competition. If you have any foreign travel journeys or an attempt to move outside of your country, there might be some additional unnecessary paperwork that you will have to deal with during this time. So do not lose your patience. Continue to focus on your health, vitality, immunity, and make sure that you uplift yourself spiritually. Use a Vishnu mantra, that is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, which is a Dwadashakshari or 12 syllable mantra during this time. Virgo ascendant signs or the Virgo moon signs. So what is happening? Mercury, your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant, will go retrograde on 18th of July and is going to stay in this motion till 11th of August. Now, regardless of your Dasha Antadasha, since Mercury is your Ascendant Lord, you will always have an impact of its retrograde transit. It rules yourself, your vitality, your immunity, your body, who you are, your decision making. Your intelligence sits in this house. Mercury also becomes the 10th lord of your work, profession, your actions in the society, what you do to survive yourself and your family, your loved ones in this world. It rules your job, your work. This is going to go retrograde and also combust, which is happening in your 11th house. So overall, this transit is pretty good for you till end of August. But momentarily, Mercury is losing its power. It is also going retrograde. So it could create some confusion, some conflict with the wider network, with your friends. So make sure that you avoid any conflicting arguments or any such communication with your friends that could be detrimental towards your relationship. Be very careful while engaging with people on social media platforms, because you would be in a position to vent out your emotions. Mercury is also conjoined Surya. So there is a lot of fire that is going on in the 11th house, in spite of it being in a watery sign of Cancer. Cancer is also a very emotional sign. So your emotional mistakes could probably become a cause of concern. So this is where you have to be careful. Mercury is going to be looking back at your 10th house. So some corrective decisions that you might have to take with regards to your work, with regards to your job or what you do. Now, momentarily, this could be a good time for you to look for change in your job, or somewhere you used to work in the past. Maybe you start reconnecting with your old colleagues, with one of your old organizations. Mercury is going to be having a very strong aspect on the 5th house. It will behave as if it's sitting in the sign of Capricorn, which is a friendly sign, momentarily for the next few weeks. And anything that you do, leverage the power of communication, your intellect and management for future planning and goal setting. If you have children, this could be an auspicious time period for them. They could have some progress, some sort of recognition. Use mantras. A simple Vishnu mantra could be very good, because your 11-5 axis is pretty active. That is Om Vishnave Namah, and he is the one who will guide you. Libra ascendant signs or the Libra moon signs. Mercury, who's your 9th lord and the 12th lord, becomes a very important planet because it is your Bhagyesha. It is the one who rules your fortune, long journeys, higher education, spiritual education, your relationship with the father. It also represents your lineage, this house. It represents your fortune. Mercury also becomes the 12th lord of losses, expenditure, your higher self-consciousness, your sleep, bed comforts, your ability to donate. It also represents foreign lands. Mercury is going to go retrograde between 18th of July till 11th of August. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant. At the mental emotional level, you will also read this from your moon sign. Now it is going to go retrograde and also combust. So firstly, it is having some karmic repercussions. Secondly, it is losing its power momentarily for a couple of weeks. But this is happening in your 10th house. Mercury is the primary karaka or the naisargic karaka or significator of the 10th house of work, because it represents learning. To start any job, to do any kind of work, the first thing we have to do is to learn, and that is what Mercury signifies. Momentarily, it could cause obstruction with your work, with your learning. So be careful of communication, be careful of using technology at work, with your systems, with your tools, and of course with some paperwork as well at work. So just stay a bit low key. Thankfully, Mercury is conjoined Surya, who gains directional strength in the 10th house. So they're forming a beautiful Buddha Aditya yoga. Leverage this time to learn something about your work that can help you in future. Mercury is going to be looking back momentarily at your 9th house. So it will create favorable circumstances for higher education, for learning something, spiritual knowledge as well. Mercury will be having a very strong aspect on your 4th house, the 7th aspect of desire. It is going to be extremely powerful during its retrograde motion. And this is where it wants you to do something or focus on doing something that you connect at the soul level, at the mental level, which could bring a sense of peace in your life and strike a balance between your work and your family, personal life. Excellent time to declutter your workspace and also your home. Do a cleaning exercise. And to improve your work, you should chant a Vishnu mantra during midday, that is Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya, in case you're facing any career or job related issues. Health and vitality is pretty good during this time, so you need not worry about it. Scorpio ascendant signs or the Scorpio moon signs. So what is happening? Mercury, who's your 8th lord and the 11th lord, the one who rules longevity, suddenness in life, sudden ups and downs, sudden frequent shifts or changes, places that are across the sea, your adversities and your ability to deal with these adversities. Mercury also becomes your 11th lord of material gains, material comfort, your wider social network. Enemies, bigger enemies are seen from this house because this is the 6th from the 6th house. We also call it the Hara Bhava or the house of obstacles. Now Mercury is going to go retrograde and combust. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant. Emotional level, you will also read this from your moon sign. It is happening in your 9th house of Bhagya or fortune. Long journeys are seen from this house. Your father is seen from this house, lineage, and it also represents higher education. Most importantly, this is the house of fortune. Mercury being a natural benefic, it does well in the 9th house. During this time, it will be conjoined with Surya, who is the second significator of the 9th house because he represents Dharma. Now during this time, Mercury will have a very strong, powerful aspect on your 3rd house. So any efforts that you will put, especially where communication is involved, where your intellect is involved, your learning is involved, you will have results with regards to those efforts. Your 9 and 3 axis is pretty active by the virtue of Mercury and also Surya. Any long distance journeys, journeys related to your work, your job, business is going to bring fruitful results. So any efforts that you will put, results are guaranteed, right? Condition, you put efforts. Momentarily, it could create friction with people with authority, with your father. So make sure that you're establishing cordial relationship with either the government, people with authority, father or father figure, and your seniors as well. Mercury will also be looking back at your 8th house momentarily. It supports transformation, but it will be combust, so it is losing its power. It might take you to put more efforts if you were to learn. When you're traveling, you have to be particularly careful with your paperwork. This time period could let you do some unnecessary paperwork, maybe tax filing, important documentation, something goes missing. Take care of your documents, take care of your paperwork, and while traveling, be very cautious about your belongings, and of course, be very particular of managing your time. Increase your spiritual knowledge and your spiritual discipline during this time. Sagittarius ascendant signs or the Sagittarius moon signs. So Mercury has two kinds of role in your case. It becomes the lord of two Kendra houses, 7th house and the 10th house. It also becomes the Badakesh or the one who rules obstacles in your case, being the 7th lord of the dual sign. It is the 7th lord of the Jaya Bhava, which represents peace and also war. Your marriage, spouse, all those people who are opposite to you are seen from this house. We also see agreements, that includes business agreements from this house. Legal agreements are seen from this house, all kinds of paperwork. Mercury also becomes the 10th lord, which is the Karma Bhava, your actions in the society, your work, profession, what you do to survive and sustain yourself and your loved ones in the world. Mercury is going to go retrograde and also combust, and this is happening in your 8th house. 8th house of suddenness, longevity, sudden frequent shifts, transformation, your adversities in life, your weaknesses in life, and how you counter these weaknesses, which we call Nija Dosha. Mercury will also be conjoined Sun, who is causing a combustion. So Mercury is losing its power. So thankfully, if you have been susceptible to any obstacles, those obstacles will be non-existent for the next 3 weeks. So it's a very supportive time period for you, because it is working in favor for all the negative aspects of the 8th house, and it is minimizing obstacles. You will be more focused in your relationship in terms of taking conscious steps. You will not have any ego. You will be very communicative. Mercury is having a very strong aspect on your 2nd house. So it is going to improve your financial position. It will help you think of how you will manage your finances. I'm not saying that you will take some major financial decisions, but you will learn the ability to manage your finances. You can also go through some good changes in your lifestyle with regards to your eating, with regards to your diet. All right. Do prayers, do spiritual sadhana. An Ashtakshari mantra could be very good for you. That is Om Namo Narayanaya, to channelize these energies and help Surya as well as Mercury learn something which is very much connected to increasing your research capabilities. Mercury is also momentarily looking back at your 7th house, so it wants you to improve and bring in a sense of communication in your relationship. Take care of your health, because that does need focus. Go for a routine, regular health checkup to ensure that everything is good at your end. Capricorn ascendant signs or the Capricorn moon signs. At the physical level, you will read this from your ascendant. At the mental emotional level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Mercury is going retrograde on 18th of July, and it is going to stay in this motion till 11th of August in the very emotional watery sign of Cancer. It's an inimical sign for Mercury. So it goes retrograde. It is good, I consider. Mercury is your 6th lord and the 9th lord. So it rules things that you do on a day-to-day basis, your enemies, your competition. This is the house of conflict. This is also the house of debts, diseases, your health and well-being, and a focus on that. Mercury also becomes the 9th lord of your Bhagya, fortune. He becomes your Bhagyesha. Long journeys, spiritual knowledge, spiritual education, and higher education is also seen from the 9th house. We also see father from your 9th house. Mercury has already been making a transit in your 7th house in the sign of Cancer, where it attains Maran Karaka position, or it's a death-like position. Because Mercury does not have any domain knowledge of the 7th house. Mercury is a childlike planet. He's the prince. He knows nothing about marriages and how to manage, marriage and its associated responsibilities. He's never prepared, to take those responsibilities. Therefore, he feels very uncomfortable in this house. Now it is going retrograde. So it is a period of respite, because negative and negative becomes positive. And it is also going combust. Now that is a bit tricky, because when it goes combust, it is losing its power. So you will have to spend a little bit more effort if you were to fix your daily routine, if you were to be supportive of your Bhagya, because your fortune or Bhagya will not be very supportive. What will be more supportive is your leadership, authority, and your communication style, because there is a Buddha Aditya Yoga in your 7th house. This time period is extremely favorable for your spouse, but you both can have some ego, authority, or communication related issues. Both the planets making transit in the 7th house are not considered auspicious, so please make sure that you avoid any such conflicts. Mercury is having a very strong drishti aspect on your lagna, on your 1st house. So your decision making is going to be quite positive. You will be confident, you will have high self-esteem, and it is an excellent time for you to rediscover yourself. For businesses, you might have to think about some past decisions and re-evaluate what you could do in terms of your future. Mercury is also momentarily looking back at your 6th house. It wants to bring in a sense of communication in your daily routine. Go out there, connect with the people. It is very good time for social expansion, but be wary of your temperament throughout this time. Aquarius ascendant signs or the Aquarius moon signs. So what is happening? Mercury is going retrograde on 18th of July and it will stay in this motion till 11th of August. So momentarily it is going Vakri in the sign of Cancer. At the physical level you will read this from your ascendant. At the mental emotional level you can also read this from your moon sign. Mercury becomes your 5th lord and the 8th lord. So it's a very important planet because it rules your 5th house of future, children. We see positional success from this house. We see a sense of status from this house. This house also represents your creativity, love that is unconditional. We also see romantic relationships or initiation of romanticism from this house. Mercury also becomes the 8th lord of longevity, Ayush, suddenness, your weaknesses, adversities, and how you counter those adversities. Now momentarily, Mercury, while making a transit in the 6th house, which is a comfortable position for Mercury, because this is the house of celibacy, this is the natural 6th lord is Mercury, which rules Virgo, so it feels at ease in this house. It is going retrograde, it is also going combust. Not the most ideal time to make some important decisions pertaining to your future, so take it easy. Spiritually, it is a very good time because your 6-12 axis is pretty active. So if you've had issues with your sleep, with your health, well-being, now you will see some improvement. But you have to be a little bit careful as well because some past health issues could again crop up. Or if it works positively for you, some prolonged health related issue, now you will find a solution to the problem. Mercury will be having a very strong drishti on your 12th house. Make sure that you donate during this time. You should look at donating black food items, black dal, food items related to Saturn. So that could be absolutely good for you. You can also donate milk to children particularly. This is a very good remedy while Mercury is making a retrograde transit in your 6th house, which will protect you from any health repercussions, which will help you making good decisions and get some blessings as well. So spiritually, it is a good time because Mercury is conjoined Surya. Both of them are connected to your 12th house. Momentarily, Mercury is also looking back at your 5th house. So it could be positive for your children. You will improve communication with your children and build a kind of connect. Bring in a sense of consistency in your daily life, in your daily routine. If there have been oppositions or enemies, now you will be able to overcome those opposition. You can also use a Shadakshari mantra, that is Om Vishnave Namah, to gain the most positive energies during this time. Pisces ascendant signs or the Pisces moon signs. So Mercury plays two kinds of role for you. One, it becomes the ruler of two Kendra or quadrant houses, and it also becomes the Badakesh or the one who rules obstacles. It is the 4th lord and the 7th lord. 4th lord of your happy space, your comfort space, your home, mother, homeland. Places where you feel most happy, most protected. It is your safe space. Mercury also becomes the 7th lord of the Jaya Bhava, where we see peace and also war. Marriage, your relationship, a sense of harmony is seen from the 7th house, and its lord again becomes important, but Mercury becomes the lord of obstacles. It has been making an okay transit in the 5th house, where now it will be conjoined Sun. Both of them are forming a beautiful Buddha-Aditya yoga. So when it goes retrograde and also combust, thankfully, if you've been facing any obstacles with regards to your comfort, with regards to your marriage, relationship, and with regards to your future, now that is going to minimize, that is going to move away because Mercury is losing its power. Surya has a greater strength during this time, and you must look up to Sun God. You must do remedies either related to Surya or related to the moon. Use mantras related to moon to channelize the most of these energies. Mantra based remedies are going to work very well for you during this time. Of course, this period could bring in some romantic connection, relationships, or new ventures. You might look at some of your old patterns and old decision makings and try to learn and re-evaluate those decisions. So this could be a favorable time for you in that aspect. Mercury is having a very strong drishti on the 11th house. Its 7th aspect of desire is going to be very strong. It will behave momentarily as if it's sitting in the sign of Capricorn. So it is giving you an indication to have another source of income or go for financial prosperity or gains. Financially, it's a supportive time. For your spouse also, they can have some financial gains in case their Dasha Antardasha is being supported. Mercury also is momentarily looking back at your 4th house. Excellent time for you to declutter your house and do some sort of construction work or some sort of renovation in your home or change of setting. These are some of the things which you can do during this time. Most importantly, go for learning, because Buddha Aditya Yoga is quite active over the next few weeks, and towards the end of August, it should give you some benefits. So friends, this was yet another unique video on Mercury's retrograde transit in the sign of Cancer. I hope and believe Mercury's retrograde transit, while it is conjoined with Surya, helps us deal with our emotions in the most mature manner and not in a childish manner. Stay tuned for more such videos on my channel. Thank you very much. God bless you all.